Srila Prabhupada, Shansa Bhakti Sibhushan Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Shansa Prasad Sibhushan Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanand Shalve Bhaktarinda Ki Jai, Bhagavan Sasana Ki Jai, Bhagavan Samdhavati Bhagavan Samdhavati Bhagavan Samdhavati Sisi Guru Muranga Shiva
The lotus feet of our spiritual master is the only way by which we can obtain further emotional service. I bow down to the lotus feet of the reverence. I Krishna, my only wish is that my consciousness is purified by the work of many from the lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is a reflection of fulfilled desires. He opened my dark eyes to my heart of knowledge. He is my Lord by my birth. From him is standing out in enemies. By him ignorance is destroyed. The manuscript of sin was scattered. Our Krishna the master of mercy, the friend of the poor, Lord and master of the devotees. O master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. May your fame be spread around the three worlds. We take shelter in lotus feet. Dear Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jayo Radho Madhavo Kunja Bihari Jaya Radho Madhavo Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasoda Nandana Bradadana Ranjana Yasoda Nandana Bradadana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jai Ho Radha Madhavo Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasoda Nandana Bradajana Ranjana Yamuna tiraha vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantarat Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 18th chapter, Maharaj Parikshit cursed by a Brahmin boy, text number 1. Sutta Vacha Yo Vaidraunyastra Viplushto Yo Vaidraunyastra Viplusto Namatu Rudare Mrita Namatu Rudare Mrita Anugrahat Bhagavataha Anugrahat Bhagavataha Krishna Syad Bhuta Karmanaha Krishna Syad Bhuta Karmanaha Sutta Uvacha Yo Vaidraunyastra Viplushto Namatu Rudare Mritaha Anugrahat Bhagavataha Krishna Syad Bhuta Karmanaha Viplusto Namatu Rudare Mrita Anugrahat Bhagavata Krishna Syad Bhuta Karmanaha
Sutta Uvacha Vaidraunyastra Viplushto Namatu Rudare Mrita Anugrahat Bhagavata Krishna Syad Bhuta Karmana
Vaishnavis. बोलिए Sutta Uvacha Yo Vaidraunyastra Viplushto Namatu Rudare Mritaha Anugrahat Bhagavata Krishnayat Bhuta Karmanaha Sutta Uvacha Sri Sutta Goswami said Yaha one who Vai certainly Draunyastra by the weapon of the son of Drona Viplustaha burned by Na never Matu of the mother Udare in the womb Mritaha met his met his death. Anugrahat, by the mercy. Bhagavataha, of the personality of Godhead. Krishnasya, Krishna. Adbhuta karmanaha, who acts wonderfully. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Sri Suta Goswami said, due to the mercy of the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who acts wonderfully, Maharaj Parikshit, though struck by the weapon of the son of Drona in his mother's womb, could not be burned. Purport. The sages of Naimisaranya became struck with wonder after hearing about the wonderful administration of Maharaj Parikshit, especially in reference to his punishing the personality of Kali and making him completely unable to do any harm within the kingdom. Suta Goswami was equally anxious to describe Maharaj Parikshit's wonderful birth and death. And this verse is stated by Suta Goswami to increase the interest of the sages of Naimisaranya. Om Ajnanatimarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamhayam Dadati Swapadantikam Jayasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripadamaham vande Sri Gurudinotaranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Suta vacha yavaidraunyastra viplushto namatu rudare mrita anugrahad bhagavata Krishnas yadbhuta karmana. Sri Suta Goswami said, due to the mercy of the personality of God as Sri Krishna, who acts wonderfully, Maharaj Parikshit, though struck by the weapon of the son of Drona in his mother's womb, could not be burned. Hare Krishna. With the blessings of Maharaj, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Here, we are entering a very crucial phase of the narration. We just heard how Maharaj Parikshit received Kali, and he showed him who's boss. He put him in place. At the same time, because Kali surrendered, so he gave him shelter, because a kshatriya is not just a person who has power and who can punish or protect, but a kshatriya is a person who knows what is everyone's place in society, what they're supposed to be doing. So he knew that Kali has his space, he has his place, and he has his service, and he allocated to him the places where he can reside. And they are where the four sinful activities are taking place. But Kali said, well, sorry, there ain't no such places in your kingdom. So basically, where can I go? I need a place. So he said, all right, you can go wherever there's hoarding of gold, where there's hoarding of too much gold. So, and the sages, naturally, they were very impressed and very pleased by the description of Maharaj Parikshit's wonderful activities. Yet they also heard that he would be cursed and that he was to die within 7 days. So here, Suta Goswami is entering into this narration of the cursing of Maharaj Parikshit by a Brahmin boy. And Srila Prabhupada says that this verse was narrated to increase the interests of the sages of Naimisaranya. Because when you have an audience, you better make sure that your audience is actually with you, that they're actually interested in what you got to tell them. Otherwise, you might as well be talking to the birds. So he does this by starting this dialogue about, this narration about Ashvatthama who wanted to kill Maharaj Parikshit already in the womb. So Parikshit had faced a lot of adversity, a lot of obstacles in his life. In fact, he was threatened not to be born, which is a very common threat nowadays, unfortunately. So, but Krishna, he appeared in the womb of Uttara and he protected the embryo. There are different narrations that his body got burned and Krishna restored his body. Other narrations say that Krishna was protecting him and safeguarding him from the heat of this nuclear weapon. So, and Maharaj Parikshit, he already had darshan in the womb of his mother, of Krishna, who protected him. So, therefore, he was known as Parikshit, the examiner. He would go up to everybody and look, are you the one? Are you the one? Are you the one? He was looking for Krishna all his life, because that is Parikshit, the examiner. And now we hear that he is being cursed to die within 7 days by a snake bird who will bite him, and he will die. So, this is certainly a very tragic, a very dramatic event, and this is about to unfold. Now, here we hear that Krishna, he acts wonderfully. Someone may say, well, why is Krishna doing this to Parikshit? If Parikshit is such a great devotee, such a dear devotee, why would Krishna put Parikshit through these difficulties? Being almost killed in the womb of his mother, then being cursed to die by a snake bird's bite. This is certainly something very challenging, very difficult. So anyone who hears this will say, well, if I practice bhakti, what will happen to me? Look at Parikshit. Look what happened to him. And why is Krishna doing this? Well, the acharyas have different reasons. First of all, what question is there of a merciful, all-powerful, and all-merciful Lord if there is no danger and no devotee to save? Right? What's the meaning of being all-merciful and all-powerful if there is no one to save? So there has to be some dramatic saving of devotees. Now someone may say, yeah, but this is very troublesome. This is very, very painful for the devotee. But actually, the devotee is fully dedicated to Krishna's plan, to Krishna's will. So the devotee is not seeing this as an obstacle. Rather, he's seeing this as Krishna's mercy, Krishna's loving exchange with him, even though it may look very frightening. At the same time, Krishna is also doing this in order to discourage insincere. Is it unsincere or insincere? What's the English word? Insincere. Thank you. We have some people who speak English here. That's wonderful. So, some insincere people, so that they will not mess with bhakti, because they will think, oh, this bhakti thing, no bueno, not a good thing. You'll get into trouble if you do bhakti. Isn't that what people tell you? Look at how you can end up. Look at this story. This is how you can end up. Don't do this bhakti thing. And also Krishna is doing it because he wants to encourage people who want to follow other paths. Okay, you want to follow Gyan, you want to follow yoga, you want to follow this, that, go ahead. Krishna says everyone's on my path. So he's not a religious fanatic. He's not either my way or the highway. Und willst du nicht mein Bruder sein, so schlage ich dir den Schädel ein. Which means, in plain German, if you don't want to be my brother, I'm going to break your head. Very nice, right? So, no, Krishna is not like that. Krishna says, oh, you want to do something else? Go ahead, do it. You know what? I'm going to give you the intelligence. I'm going to give you the logic and the arguments why you should do what you're doing. Have you noticed how Krishna is giving you the intelligence to justify whatever it is that you're about to do today? Have you noticed? Anyone has noticed? No one. Krishna gives you the intelligence to substantiate your argument that you already decided on, your logic, right, of why you do what you want to do. Krishna is that kind. Because without him doing that, we couldn't get anything done. We couldn't be convinced of anything. We couldn't carry out any action. So certainly Krishna is very merciful, and he acts wonderfully. We will speak more about that. One time I was in Govardhan, and I was walking with Burijan Prabhu back to his humble dwelling, and he told me, Navina, there is something I wanted to tell you for 2 years. For the last 2 years, there's something I wanted to tell you. And guess what? Naturally, I was quite curious to know what it is that he wanted to tell me for the last 2 years. Are you able to hold something in your mind for 2 minutes or for 2 days? What to speak of 2 years? Almost impossible, right? But he said, this is something I wanted to tell you for 2 years. Right now, naturally, my attention was, my curiosity was there. He said, right now is the most important part of your, most important time of your life. You're investing into your foundation. I was thinking, what, after 35 years, investing into my foundation? Yes, this is foundational. Whatever we're doing right now is the foundation of whatever Krishna can accomplish through us. So, we're working on our foundation. Then he said, you have to remember, number one, who am I? And he answered, I'm a servant. This is Sambandha Gyan, knowledge about identity. You've heard of Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana? You can write those down otherwise. Sambandha means identity. Your identity, the identity of your object of worship, and what is your relationship. Most relationships are over before they started. Why? Because we don't really know who we are and who the other personality is. And that's why there's no real relationship. So, who am I? I'm a servant. Kim karo. Kim karo. What should I do? What does a servant say? Kim karo. What can I do? How can I serve? That is our position. But as soon as I think I'm a master, I'm a controller, I'm an enjoyer, then we got a problem. Then we have a lot of people running around who have conflicting interests, and there's a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion, and a lot of struggle, strife, and fight. But if you have the attitude of, I'm a servant, how can I serve? You will notice that you are welcome in every assembly, in every group, in every place. If your attitude is, Kim karo, how can I serve? What is my service opportunity here? You will be very well received. So, then number two, who occupies the sacred space of your heart? Who is there in your heart? Who do you worship? Who is your Ishtadev? Is it Jagannath? Is it Radhanandanishwar? Is it Prabhupada? Is it your Guru? Who is there in your heart? It's not somebody else can legislate that. That is your own personal sacred space that you have to go in every day and worship. So, who is in your heart? That's an important thing to know. And number three, what is my contribution to this ISKCON movement? What is it that I would like to contribute? What is it that I would like to leave behind as a legacy? I thought that was very memorable. Those are those short little moments, these little lavamatra sadhu sangha, these little moments of where our trajectory changes because our thinking becomes elevated to a different platform, to a different level. And as I was walking back to my spot, I was thinking, what do I have to do, or what do I have to sacrifice in order to achieve my contribution, to make my offering? So today is Bhadra Purnima. It is also Vishwarupa Mahotsav. Is it what they call it? Better check before we...
Yeah, Vishwarup Mahotsava. Yes.
Mahotsava, yes. Vishwarup Mahotsava. Which some persons say it is when Vishwarup took off, and others say it is when Vishwarup took sannyas, or when Vishwarup achieved perfection. So there are different descriptions. But Vishwarup was Lord Chaitanya's older brother. And at the age of 16, he, Jai, Shishi, Radha Landanishwar, Jagannath Baladev Subhaja Devi, Shishi Gonitai, Ki Jai. He left home because he heard that there were arrangements made for his marriage. And he just disappeared. He went and took sannyas and was never to be seen again. So his parents were naturally very, very upset by that. And his younger brother also, Nimai Pandit, Lord Chaitanya, so much so that later on he set out on a tour just to find him, just to hear what happened to him. Of course, he knew what happened to him, but he went on that pilgrimage. So, and then later on, Vishwarup, he attained perfection. Anybody knows where? Correct. 108 points for Mahavishnu Maharaj. At Pandharpur, he achieved perfection. So, on this day, our Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who before was known as Abhay Charanavinda Bhaktivedanta Prabhu, he took sannyas at the Keshava Gaudiya Mat, Keshavaji Gaudiya Mat in Mathura, from his godbrother, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, who had encouraged him. Srila Prabhupada went first to other organizations and offered them his services of editing and publishing and preaching, and they were not really that interested. They said, first you have to join our organization and be a good boy, and then we will see what we can do for you. But Srila Prabhupada, he had a very strong calling. He felt, after having dreams of his Guru Maharaj admonishing him, telling him, you have to take sannyas. And he said, I felt horrified. I felt this is impossible. But he got these signs. And he was in Vrindavan. He was publishing Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. And he got these dreams. So he wanted to follow the desire of his Guru Maharaj. And he wrote to some of his godbrothers, and they're not very encouraging. They were not very much cooperative in this regard. In fact, they were more interested in maintaining their own institutions. But Keshav Maharaj, he wrote to him, yes, you should take sannyas immediately. I'll give you sannyas. Come here. So he felt very encouraged, and he went to Mathura. And on this day, Vishwarup Mahotsaha, he took sannyas and became known as A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. So, Srila Prabhupada was already living in Vrindavan, and he was publishing first canto Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, to publish those 3 volumes of the first canto took Srila Prabhupada 8 years, because he was not only translating, he was also editing, he was also going to Delhi by train, and going to the paper market and procuring paper, and then putting the paper on the tela. You know what tela is? Horse-drawn rickshaw. And then transporting it to the printer. And then checking the proofs. You know, this is not like, drop shipping. This is not like you send a PDF somewhere and then you got some pallets in your warehouse, a few weeks later. This is printing, old school. So Prabhupada went and he checked. Those were lead type, Every letter is on a little toothpick. You know these toothpicks that you have? There would be a little letter on every toothpick out of lead. My grandfather did that as a job. It's called typesetting. It's obsolete. It's not anymore in existence for the most part. And they assemble like this lines of texts and then put them together. Can you imagine how long it takes to assemble one page? And then they put ink on it, and then they put a paper on it. And the machine sounds like chicka chicka chunk, 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 chicka chicka chunk. So he was doing all this by himself. Then these big sheets have to be cut. they have to be folded. They have to be bound. Now, first they have to be stitched, because it's all handmade. Stitched, then bound. So it was a very laborious task. And it took him 8 years to produce 1 volume of Srimad Bhagavatam. His spiritual master told him at the first meeting, you should preach in the English language. And he knew that this was his mission, to bring the Bhagavatam to the world. But if 1 canto takes 8 years, how long do 12 cantos take? 96 years. But we got a problem here. What is the problem? No time. He's already 70 years old. So, what to do? What do you do when the task is too big and you don't know what to do? Have you ever been in such a situation? Like spread Krishna consciousness in London? How are you going to do this? You have to recruit, train, and empower spiritual revolutionaries. You need to grow your team. You have to do Sankirtan. You have to find people and inspire them and train them in how to expand the mission. And he tried. But besides a few home programs, and he had his attempt in Jhansi where he wanted to start a center and an organization, but it was not successful. So he saw that I need to take a different strategy. I need to go to the West and recruit Westerners. And with their ingenuity, with their passion, with their tenacity, I will spread the Bhagavatam around the world. And that's what Prabhupada did. That's what he did. So he also knew that if I want to start a spiritual organization, I have to take sannyas, because then naturally people will accept and appreciate, regard me as the leader. So he took sannyas on this day. And we are very fortunate that he did. So in that sense, we are very much in awe of Srila Prabhupada's surrender and sacrifice. Srila Prabhupada oftentimes quoted the verse, Yasyaham anugrinami harishe taddanam shanai. That when Krishna favors someone, then he will take certain things away, and he may put you in a difficult situation. But for what? For what reason? In order to exalt that devotee, in order to fully give that devotee his mercy. Because sometimes we may be in a situation, or we may be in some state of mind where we're not capable of fully surrendering and of fully embracing our service. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever felt like you were holding back, you were stuck in your situation, and you couldn't really fulfill your potential? Then pray to Krishna. Sometimes devotees were laughing when Prabhupada was saying, then Krishna took everything away. Srila Prabhupada said, don't laugh. When it happens to you, you become very morose. You become very morose. So, here we see how Parikshit Maharaj this story is unfolding, and we will hear how Parikshit Maharaj encountered his very extraordinary situation, how Krishna revealed his plan to extricate him from this world, to exalt him, because we're hearing about Maharaj Parikshit 5,000 years later. Which kings do you remember after 5,000 years? No one, right? No one. But Parikshit, who had a relatively short life, but a very eventful life, because he got Krishna's mercy, because he fully dedicated, he fully surrendered to Krishna. So Krishna empowered him to become the nucleus or the instigator for the revelation, for the speaking of the Bhagavatam. Krishna svadhamapagate dharma jnana dibisaha kalaunashtam drishamesha purunarko dunodita. Krishna left this world after 125 years of presence on this planet, but he stayed behind in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nridehamadyam sulabam sudurlabam plavam sukalpam guru karnadaram mayanukulena nabasvaterita puman bhavabdim nataretsa atmaha. We can cross over this ocean of birth and death by hearing the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam from the lotus lips of the pure devotees. It will go into our ears and into our heart. And that will guide us to help us cross over that ocean of birth and death. The mercy of Guru is only received through one organ. Which organ? The ear. So you can't see who is Guru. You have to listen. You have to hear. Sometimes we think Guru has, 4 arms and 8 legs, or Guru can, jump this high, or he can do this or that. No. Guru is the one who is giving you the message of the Bhagavatam. That is the spiritual master. So, Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, he dedicated his life to giving us the Bhagavatam because he knew that this will have impact. This will actually change the face of the earth. And for that purpose, for that reason, he got up every night at midnight and he translated 6 pages. When is the last time that you wrote 6 pages? Are you writing essays? Oh, you Bhakti Vaibhavas and Bhakti Vedantas? When is the last time? Maybe we wrote a little abstract, right, for our wisdom talk at Studio 108. And then even though you wrote a nice little abstract, they probably forget to publish it, or they just put the title. And you think like, why did I write this little abstract? No, you should write. Srila Prabhupada said you should write. To write means you have to dig for some realization from your heart. Srila Prabhupada, he was studying the purports of all the acharyas, and he would deeply meditate on them. And then he would combine them. He would give the essence of all these purports with his own realizations. And this is what we have right here, right now. So we're very fortunate, we're very blessed. Sometimes we may think, oh, I miss Prabhupada, or oh, why not say, oh, I miss Bhaktivinoda Thakur, or I miss Lord Chaitanya, I miss Krishna. But we don't understand that the further removed you are, the more mercy you actually get from Parampara. Because there's more realization of more sadhus, of more Vaishnavas. Do you like honey?
Yes.
One person likes honey, all the others, no. Why do you like honey?
Sweet.
Come on, don't be so boring.
Good vitamin.
It's sweet.
Huh?
It's sweet.
What else is it? There's so many things that are sweet. Why is honey in a whole different category? Maduram, maduram, maduradipate, maduram. Nectar. What does nectar mean? Where does nectar come from? It doesn't come from the lab. It's not a combination of some E numbers and some artificial flavors. What is nectar? It is the quintessence of all the fruits and flowers that Krishna has produced. That is why we love honey. And this is the honey. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, is the honey. It is the quintessence of all the realizations of the acharyas, of the mahajans, of Krishna and his incarnations. All of that is in the Bhagavatam. So, yet I'm so unfortunate. I do not have taste for the Bhagavatam. My taste is somewhere else. We have made surveys around the world, and less than 10% of our congregation has all the books. And less than 10% has read all the books. How many of you have read all of Prabhupada's books? Show of hands. That's 3, and Maharaj is 4. Yeah, that's about accurate, 10%. So there's some homework to do here, sadhus. Do you have a plan for reading all of Prabhupada's books? If you read 2 hours a day, you can read them in 2 years. You can read more. It will go faster. So it's up to us. Even if you only read 1 verse a day, the Bhagavatam will take you 46 years. You can do it. But you have to start now. Otherwise, you may have all the books in your library, but if you don't read them, you might as well be illiterate. Now it's good, we're distributing many sets, and at the same time we should find ways how to inspire people to actually read the Bhagavatam and gain taste for the Bhagavatam. How do we do that? By sharing the Bhagavatam with others, we will actually experience this Adbhuta Karmana, these wonderful activities of Krishna. They will manifest. How? Through the Sankirtan movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These pastimes will manifest. A friend of mine, Narayan Pandit, he's from Croatia, but he was stationed in Shanghai for over a decade, and he was going to distribute books in Shanghai train station. Have you been to Shanghai train station? Anyone? It's the biggest train station in the world. Millions of people going through there every day. And there is CCTVs, cameras everywhere, and microphones, and police, and undercover police, and military. So he was arrested countless times, and they asked him, "What are you doing here?" "Sir, you're not allowed to do this. These are religious books." And he said, "I have Chinese wife, I have children, I have to make money." "Where did you get the books from?" "I bought them on the market. I have to sell. I need to make money. I have wife and children." And they said, "Oh, okay, it's one of those guys. All right, go away, but don't do it again. Don't come back." And so one man asked him, "What are you doing?" And he said, "You know, China formerly had a big culture, a big spiritual tradition, but now everyone is just absorbed in making money. So I want to revive the original spiritual culture of China." The man said, "How do you plan to do that?" He said, "I want to put one of these collections of Srimad Bhagavatam into every university library of the country." And he said, "Show me the books." So he gave him a Bhagavatam. The man read a few pages and looked through it and said, "Okay, I will help you." And he gave him a bag of $50,000. He said, "I'll sponsor 100 sets, because a Chinese set is $500. Deluxe printing, very, very beautifully made." So he put 100 sets into university libraries, and he got pictures taken of the librarians with the students and the professors, and he got nice comments, and he got also receipts, shipping receipts. He got proof. He was transparent. What did I do with the money? And he presented this to his donor, to the sponsor. And that person was so impressed that he said, "I'll sponsor another 100 sets for Hong Kong, another 100 sets for Taiwan, another 100 sets for this province." He gave $400,000, 350,000 British pounds, for 800 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because the devotee was sincerely praying and sacrificing and going against all the odds and all the obstacles, being happy that Krishna manifested his Adbhuta Karmanam, his wonderful activities, even if it was dangerous, even if it was unpleasant for him, but Krishna manifested himself in that way. And now there are 800 sets out there in all the universities and schools in China, which is a good start. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes or yes?
Yes.
Thank you. So, we are blessed here that the whole world is here in London. Have you noticed how the whole world is here? Trying to take back what they feel that the Brits took from them. With interest, right? With interest, generational interest. So, it is our great fortune. You don't have to travel the world. You can just step outside the door. And that's it. You're there. People from all over the world, including a few Brits also, right? There's still a few.
There's a minority.
A minority, yes, yes. It's in the smaller digits, but they do still exist. And they're happy to find a person who is kind, who is compassionate, who is enthusiastic. We saw there's a lot of enthusiasm here during Kirtan. Have you noticed? Some of you have noticed. Some of you are too enthusiastic and ecstatic to notice how much enthusiasm is there. Rupa Goswami says, Utsahan Nishchayat Dharyat. So it's good to be enthusiastic. We also have to be determined. And determination comes from fortifying our intelligence with studying the Bhagavatam. And then we also need patience. Patience. Because a patient has to be patient. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So, these are some reflections on today's event. In a similar way, as Maharaj Parikshit was empowered to be instrumental for the spreading of the Bhagavatam, as Srila Prabhupada was empowered to be instrumental for the distribution of the Srimad Bhagavatam, so can we, in our small way, become instrumental in the distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is a lifetime's mission. Srila Prabhupada met his Gurudev when he was in his mid-20s. He was just married and had one son and business. And his Guru told him, you should spread this message of the Bhagavatam in the English language. Now, how to do? How to do? It took him 43 years before he boarded that boat, the Jaladuta, to go to the United States. 43 years. That's a lifetime in preparation. So monumental things are achieved through lifetime efforts. So yes, it is nice if you do a few books and a few sets today and this year. But what is your lifetime achievement? What is your lifetime award? That is what we should meditate upon. That is what we should contemplate and pray today to Srila Prabhupada. How can I achieve? How can I be part of your mission and make my own small, humble offering? And Srila Prabhupada will empower you, because that is his mission. He was coming to the West with one purpose only: recruit, train, and empower spiritual revolutionaries. So, these are some reflections on today's verse. We have a few minutes for questions, comments, and reflections. Not all at once. I just came from Iceland, and it was already pretty icy, just a tad above freezing. And I met a person who I met last year. Is a very interesting encounter. Iceland is a small place. There's only 400,000 people there. And Reykjavik, the capital, is also not so big. There's one main street and then one other street up to the church, which is also a little busy. And that's it. 2 million tourists every year. So I got kind of tired of meeting the usual suspects, the usual people from everywhere. I wanted to meet some locals. So I walked up to the church. And in front of the church, I met a giant man. And I wanted to talk to him, and he said, I'm a little busy right now, I have to go. And he motioned to the church. He said, I have to go, he's calling me. And I liked the way how he was talking about, he's calling me, I have to go. He felt a calling. Have you found your calling? No? Not yet. Still looking. Huh? Well, he felt called by God. So I gave him a beyond birth and death, and told him we're monks, we're trying to spread this message. And he gave a donation, and we talked a little bit. And then he said, I like you. I like what you're doing. I want to help you. I said, you already did. He said, no, I want to help you. He took out his phone and he was checking. I said, what's he doing on his phone? He said, I can give you $200. Would that be helping you? I said, yeah, that's okay. That's fine. So he transferred that amount. Then he went to church. After 10 minutes, he came out and we sat on the bench. And he just told me his life story. And he said that he was in England studying to become a surgeon. But he had finished already his medical studies, and he wanted to go into specialization surgery. But then his wife got sick, and he had to start work. Had to start to work to maintain her and to take care of her. So he had to forget about his dream of becoming a surgeon, and he just became an ICU doctor. This is the guy who you see when they wheel you in on that stretcher, and who looks, okay, what's wrong here? What can we do? Is this guy salvageable or not? That's his job. So he said, in the last 20 years, I saw 70,000 patients. And everyone has the same problem. He said, I looked into your book and I read that you're not your body, you're the soul. And I couldn't agree more. Everyone has the same problem. They don't know that they're the soul. They think they're the body. That's why they're in so much pain. They're in so much anxiety. So he said, I want to meet you again. So I gave him my contact. He invited me the same day. I went to his home and we talked, and he told me a little more about his life. And then he said, I want you to help to spread this message. And he just pushed over a stack of money. And he has been very supportive, and we've been in touch, and he's been reading. I was very inclusive with my presentation because I saw that he comes from a very, very conservative Christian background. So at one point he said, you know, my father was very spiritual. He told me about Indian gurus. And I never met an Indian guru till I met you in front of the church. And he said, my father was actually initiated by the Maharishi. He was the first TM member in Iceland. So he is coming along. It is taking time because conditioning is strong. But by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada's teachings, people become liberated from their ignorance. They actually, Vidyante Hridaya Grantis, Chidyante Sarvashanksaya, Kshiyante Tasya Karmani, Drishta Etva Manishware. Yeah, they can actually get free of all that muck. You know what muck is? Have you ever had muck on you? It's something that you can't easily get rid of because it's very sticky, it's very gooey. Muck, you know? Like somebody throws some wet earth, you know, some muck on you. Yeah, it's hard to get off. So the modes of material nature are very, very sticky, very contaminating. But we can become free from that through this process of Harinam Sankirtan. So if you want to see Krishna's Adbhuta Karmana, his wonderful activities, go on Sankirtan, go on Harinam. Every day it is available. You see, you go out there and you do chanting and dancing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And not only the school kids, not only the Arabs, not only the Germans, not only the business people, everyone can notice that this is something different. This is a different energy. This is a different vibration. Yesterday, what was the station you sent me to?
Farringdon.
Huh?
Farringdon.
Farringdon. I need to explain. Farringdon. And one man came up to me and with a big smile, and he said, yes, I like you guys. Every time I meet you, I give you 3 pounds. So, okay, get out your thing. I'll give you 3 pounds. So people are so inspired. Why? Because Adbhuta Karmanam. They can see something wonderful is happening. And I want to be part of that magic. I want to be part of that wonder. So, how to be part of the magic? We have to become a team player of Lord Chaitanya's, of Srimad Radharani's Sankirtan movement. That is the mission. That is what we're here for. We got 2 minutes for questions and comments. We're just running out the clock here. Anything? You got the mic. You might as well use it.
There's something I've been wanting to tell you for the last 12 years. Would you
You're
like to
a
hear
very
it?
patient man. Go ahead.
There was a time when I was living in Moscow for a little period of my life, and I was watching in the Dynamo temple online, the classes, and you were giving class there at that time. It was before I joined. And I remember watching that class, and I remember your enthusiasm, where you were speaking about Krishna consciousness and about how you can be part of this movement. Because at that time I was very unsure. I mean, is it real? Can you really go and join and be looked after and contribute? And it didn't seem anything realistic to me. Because it didn't correspond to anything I'd experienced up until that time. But I remember you were encouraging. And I felt very encouraged and inspired with your enthusiasm. And you even sang a little song which resonated to me at the time. And I don't know if you remember that, probably you don't, but you can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. You just try. You sang that. And that kind of really hit home. And it wasn't long after that that I moved into the temple. So I wanted to thank you for that.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one who suffered in Moscow. The Dinamo temple was made out of freight containers. You know what freight containers are? These metal things that are on the back of trucks and boats, you know? You could put about 2 in here, into this temple room. So they just put a few dozen of those together, and that was the temple. Yeah, it was very crude, yes. And yeah. But it served its purpose because there was a lot of enthusiasm, and that was the only way how to survive in that place. And I used to spend twice 2 months a year there, about 4 months during that period. Other times, as I've been traveling there for 25 years in the Russian countries. So, yes, thank you for sharing that. Hare Krishna. So today is the last day of Bhadra Purnima. Today is Bhadra Purnima. It is full moon. And it's a good day to do some sankalpa. You know sankalpa? To take some vow. Like Srila Prabhupada took his sannyas vows today. So leave it up to you what vow you want to take today. But on full moon, it's a good day to say, yes, I'm going to do this, no matter what. And Krishna will help you. Krishna will empower you. As he empowered Srila Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada wanted to make Krishna famous. He wanted to spread the Bhagavatam. And even though the odds were against him, he still came through. He still came through. Even the odds were against Parikshit, but Parikshit came through. Because Krishna is doing Adbhuta Karmanam. He's doing very wonderful activities. Grantarat Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Bhadra Purnima Maha Mahotsava ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today, as Prabhu already mentioned, it is the last day of Bhadra Purnima, and we have some announcements to make about our Bhadra campaign this year. Wait a second. So, Bhadra campaign was started in 2017, inspired by Srimad Bhagavatam verse 12:13, which promises a supreme destination to anyone who gives this sacred text on Bhadra Purnima. And this campaign spread the timeless wisdom of Bhagavatam worldwide. Srila Prabhupada also desired that every home should have a full set of Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, we also took our Sankirtan team, ISKCON London Sankirtan team also took an initiative to distribute 230 Bhagavatam sets this year. And we already distributed 250. Wait, I need to put this. Yeah. Jai. So we need to special mention to some devotees who are helping us distributing these sets. Special mention to Mother Mani Manjari and our guest greeting team, Mother Sheetal and Mother Shriya. They distributed 30 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And our East London congregation, they distributed 35 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And our biggest book distributor, Mother Sharda, she distributed 50 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. So we are very grateful to them for their efforts and work to distribute and popularize Srimad Bhagavatam. And the rest of the Bhagavatam has been distributed by our Sankirtan team. So I want to congratulate all the brahmacharis and all the Sankirtan team who came up on the streets and distributed Srimad Bhagavatam. And especially Bhagavatam to the Westerners, which is our own Bhakta Adam. He's distributed 3 Srimad Bhagavatam to the Westerners on the streets. And today we have a special offering. We have this very beautiful box here, and it contains all the names of the people who have sponsored and took Srimad Bhagavatam to their house. They have welcomed Krishna to your house. And we're going to offer this box to the feet of Shri Radha Landaneshwar and Shri Prabhupada. If it's still a time now, if someone wants to sponsor it now, we can add your name now. Today is the day, and this is the last day to do it. If someone likes to, we can do it. We're doing it all day long. Every arati, we're gonna add some names, so you can do anytime. There's a table outside. I'll be there, so please free to come and invite Krishna's blessings to your house. I want to congratulate all the devotees again, and Vamsiva Prabhu to offer it to Shri Radha Landaneshwar. And please, yeah. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. We have book scores from yesterday as well, and yesterday was also Bhadra Purnima, because Bhadra Purnima started yesterday at 11 a.m. and is going to end up today at 6 p.m. So it's 2 days. So yesterday, for the pleasure of Shri Radha Landaneshwar, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Gaur Nitai, Giri Govardhan, Srila Prabhupada, and all the assembled devotees, we distributed, although it was a rest day, but we still distributed 17 small books, 47 medium books, 14 big books, 22 Maha Big Book, 1 Arabic book, and 12 Srimad Bhagavatam set. For the total of 487 Lakshmi points. Harinam Sankirtan ki.
Bhakta Prabhu ki. Bhagavad Prasadam ki. Jai.
Jai Prabhu Dina Dayali
Nande Krishna, Nanda Kumara. Nanda Kumara, Madana Gopala. Madana Gopala, Mohana Rupa. Mohana Rupa, Nanda Kumara. Jaya Jaya Deva Hari. Jaya Krishna Hari, Jaya Rama Hari. Jaya Sachinandana Gaurari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sri Radha Landanishwara. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sri Radha Landanishwara. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sri Radha Landanishwara Giriraj. Radha Gauri Jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sri Radha Landanishwara. Yovadan Nitya Gaunitai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sri Radha Landanishwara. Yovadan Nitya Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sri Radha Landanishwara. Yovadan Nitya Gaunitai. Subhadra, Sri Radha Landanishwara, Govadan, Sri Gaunitai. Sri Radha Landanishwara, Govadan, Sri Gaunitai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Sri Radha Landanishwara, Sri Govadan, Sri Gaunitai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Sri Radha Landanishwara, Giri Govardhan, Sri Gaunitai.
Sri Radha Landanishwara.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Why we don't have Bhagavatam sets by Prabhupada? We should have one set here. Yeah, look nice. Mahaprasadam King. Keep Prabhupada King. Go permanently. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Here we are. You would like to sit the Bhagavatam? Radha Pranima. Sit the Bhagavatam. This is a very auspicious day. Take a set of Bhagavatam.
Srila Prabhupada, blessings from Maharaj. All set, you can take home. We'll deliver it to your home.
I'm lucky here. I will take some.
Take it to your office.
Okay, where does this go? It goes in the prasadam. It goes in the prasadam.
The jacket.
Very quick, mine.
Take care of it, Marge.